Hi, faithful caregiver. Let's talk about sundowning today. What is sundowning? Sundowning is confusion, anxiety, anxiousness, aggravation at you, not listening to you, pacing back and forth, or walking in circles. Sundowning is something that our dementia loved ones do, and they have no control over it. But my goal today is that I can give you some causes of sundowning and some suggestions that might help y'all get through these episodes a little bit easier. The first thing is this: when I realized that my mom's brain just was not working anymore, that helped me to deal with her in a whole different manner. It gave me more compassion for mom because I knew that things that she was doing was not something that she would normally have done if it had not been for brain failure, as TEEPA Snow calls it. Okay, the second thing is this: overstimulation during the day, just like it can do with a child, can make your dementia loved one have an episode in the afternoon or in the evening because their system is just wound up and they can't get it to regulate because they've had brain failure. So my suggestion is always to keep them in as much routine as possible during the day and to keep their spirit quiet during the day, because sometimes that alone will help them not to get upset in the afternoon. Okay, the third thing is this: lack of sunlight. If your dementia loved one does not get enough sunlight and sunshine on them, their vitamin D level is going to be too low. And their vitamin D level regulates how they act and how they sleep at nighttime. So what I would suggest, if they start having these episodes, then I would take them to the doctor and let them do some blood work on them. If their vitamin D level is low, then it's very easy for the doctor to tell you to just go ahead and get some more vitamin D in them, either by sunlight or by a supplement of some sort. As always, I'm not a medical doctor, but these are things that I've learned from others and from my own care with my mom. So always include your doctor in choices that you make for your dementia loved one to make sure that they work with the plan that you have with them, because everyone is so unique. Okay, the fourth thing is this: they might simply be bored. And that was a term that I never allowed in my home when my kids were growing up, because then I'd give them something to do because I did not want them sitting around bored. And that is exactly what you need to do for your dementia loved one. Sometimes they get aggravated in the afternoon or evening because they're just bored. They're sitting there with nothing to do. One of my best suggestions for taking care of sundowning is to get ahead of the sundowning. Just like when you're in the hospital and they say don't let the pain get ahead of you, don't let their sundowning get ahead of you, because once they're into that mode, it's really hard to get them out of that. So before that sundowning episode starts, because you will know about the time it normally begins with them, have them intentionally involved in an activity, or you be intentionally involved with them, so that when that time of day comes, their mind's not occupied with or bored and just sitting there and watching the shadows play and starting to get scared because of all of it or anything. They are involved in something that will keep their mind off of it, and that might help you just steer completely clear of sundowning. That's just a good time for you to have one-on-one time with them and be intentional with your dementia loved one. The fifth thing is this: sudden movement around them. Remember, their eyesight might be changing and their hearing might be changing. So if you just suddenly move past them and it jolts them, that can throw them right into an episode of sundowning. So just be sure that you just move slowly around them as much as possible. And if you're talking to them, just get right in front of them so that they can see your smile on your face, and all of that is relaxing to them. Okay, the sixth thing is this: pain that they cannot express, because some of them are nonverbal. Sometimes they don't know why they don't feel well, and they don't know what's going on. It can be something as simple as clothes bunched up around them. I know when mom was in the bed, I would make sure her blanket was smooth on top of her, or her sheets were smooth, or that the blanket wasn't pushing her feet down at the bottom of the bed. I would keep it like in a little teepee over her feet. Just little things like that can make a huge difference in if they're in pain or not. The pain can be caused by UTI because it's so hard to get fluids in them. And I will tell you this: my best friend's mom actually had a broken hip and walked on it 3 days before they could figure out what was going on with her. So it was because she had broken a hip, but because she could not verbalize it and she kept walking with that broken hip, then they were just up a creek with trying to figure out what was going on, but they finally did figure it out. So when they're agitated over things, please just take the time to listen to them and figure out what's going on, because something is going on with them and they have no clue and they can't tell you what it is, but it's up to us to figure that out. Okay, the seventh thing is this: discomfort. Discomfort from a brief that needs to be changed, or a bed pad that's wet, or it can be, again, caused by clothes just in a twist around them somewhere. Discomfort can throw our loved ones into having an episode because they just can't figure out what's going on, and it makes them frustrated and upset. Okay, the eighth thing is this: there's a possibility that they're thirsty or hungry. You may have just fed them, but their body doesn't remember that. So if you just give them a little snack or a glass of water or juice to drink, that might be enough to calm them down because they just feel like they're hungry. And it also gives them something to do, an activity to do with their hands. Okay, the ninth thing is this: they might be scared or they might be afraid because their hearing is going and their eyesight is going. So shadows, again, dancing around or quick movements, that all can contribute to them being fearful. And I will suggest you taking them to a doctor on a regular basis as dementia progresses, just to keep a check on their eyes and to keep a check on their hearing. Because at first, they might be able to give them something as simple as a hearing aid to help them with their hearing. They may not even realize how bad they are at hearing. So keeping a close check on that will help them later on as dementia progresses and hopefully alleviate some of those sundowning episodes. Okay, the 10th thing is this: drugs. Drugs can be okay one day and the next day they're just not working for them. So when your dementia loved one changes their behavior or shifts in how their personality is, the first thing I would do is go talk to a doctor and say, okay, these prescriptions aren't working. What do we need to do and what can we switch up? And just keep on top of that, because just a simple change in medication can make a huge difference in your dementia loved one. Okay, the 11th thing is this: forcing them to take a shower or a bath can just throw them over the edge into having a sundowning episode. So my suggestion for this always is a video by TEEPA Snow, and I'm going to drop a link to it in my show notes because she has tons of good suggestions on what to do to get them to shower. And if you can get them to have a shower and be calm during that shower, that's going to relax them, and hopefully that will help them not have a sundowning episode. And if you do it during the time when they normally have sundowning, and you can do it in a way that they don't get aggravated, that might get them through that time of night, plus relax them because of the warm water on them. Another thing that I will suggest is lion's mane. Lion's mane was used by one of my friends when she got diagnosed with dementia, and she has had great success with it. Again, talk to your doctor. This is not medical advice. These are just suggestions, but talk to your doctor about that and see if possibly that will help your dementia loved one also. So lion's mane, vitamin D, and going to TEEPA Snow's videos to watch on how to help them take a shower and to calm down and relax. Those are 3 of my favorite suggestions, along with getting ahead of that sundowning episode. Have them involved with an activity. I hope these tips and suggestions help you. If you would please like and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Thank you as always for taking care of your dementia loved ones. God bless you and stay true.